The last question in the translation foldable. So it says the translation maps triangle BCD onto triangle B prime, C prime, D prime. The following coordinates are given. So it looks like they give us a C prime. So that's one from this triangle and one from this triangle. And then a D and then a B prime. So it looks like they're giving us some of the points from each of these triangles, and we have to figure out what's happening. So let's go ahead and start plotting some of these points. So we've got C is at -2, -2. So -2 is back 2 and down 2. So this is my C. C prime is 5, -5. So that's over 5 and down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be over here. D is going to be at -4, so back 4 and then down 2. So this is going to be my D. And then I have B prime, which is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down 1. So this is my B prime. So I have two different triangles. Remember, all the primes are together. So this is part of the prime triangle, right? That's part of this triangle right here. And then we have these two are part of this triangle, right? Okay, so we need to figure out where these other pieces of these triangles are. So here's what I would do. I would probably go from the 2 points that match. So you notice how we have this C and this C? So those two are clearly, one is a image of the other. So let's see what happens. Remember, always travel on your x-axis first. So to get from this C right here, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's a 7 on my x-axis. 7 on my x-axis. And then down 1, 2, 3. So to move my C, I went +7 on my x-axis. And I went down 3 on my y-axis, right? So to get from my C to C. So remember, it's going to do the exact same movement for every single one. So my rule is going to be x plus 7. I'm going to put this over here so I remember, and y minus 3 for every single one of my points. Okay? So I'm going to get rid of some of that writing that I just did. Oopsie. X, I'm going to get rid of. I just want to get rid of the lines on the graph. I shouldn't have erased that. So this is going to be x plus 7 and y minus 3, right? Oopsie, y minus. That's an ugly y, 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and move the D. So if I have this D, and I want to move this D right here, so I got to move it exact same way. So I'm going to go to the right 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then down 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's going to put me right there. I'm going to go ahead and erase that mark just so we don't have too much going on here. Okay, so this was my C right here, and this is my new D prime right here. Okay, now what else do I need to move? So I could see my triangle right here, can't I? I need to figure out where I've got the B and the D. I need to figure out where this B is. So I got to move him backwards. So how do I do the opposite to him? So that means I'm going to have to take this B and move him backwards. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And backwards would be up 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be right there. So let me erase that so we can see. So that means my other triangle is going to be right here. And those look pretty good, so I probably did good. So I could double check and make sure that I did everything right. This is going to be my plain old B. So let's double check all my points. So my B, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the right and down 1, 2, 3. That looks good. My D is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the right and down 1, 2, 3. That looks good. And my C was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the right, and down 3. So my triangles look good. Now we want to answer these questions. What are the coordinates of D? So where is this point D? Oh, D prime. It wants D prime. So that's this D over here. So this purple D down here is to the right 3 and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is at 3, comma, negative 5. What are the coordinates of B? So the plain old B, not the prime. Those primes are little. So we want to know what this pink guy is. So he is backwards 1, 2, and then up 1, 2. So he is at negative 2, comma, positive 2. And what is our rule? Now remember, we can make the rule, write it in different ways. So we can write it like coordinates. So we can say parentheses x, comma, y with a little arrow goes to, and write this stuff right here. So x plus 7, comma, y minus 3. That's one way to write it. Another way, you can write it with a big capital T, and you could put what happens to him. So he goes 7, comma, negative 3. We can write it like that. We can also write it like a vector, like 7, comma, negative 3. And we could also write them in words that says to the right 7 and down 3. So those are all different ways that I can write this rule. Make sure that this gets glued in your notebook on page 34 and add to your table of contents. You're going to be writing translations on line P. We would be on line P. Line P, page 34, translations.